Well, hey crafty friends, it's Hiedi Scott with DiyDreaming, and on this video tutorial I am going to show you how to make homemade wrapping paper. You can make it for any season, any occasion, all year long. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and then it's been a while, so I'm going to show you how to make these pulled string 5.5-inch burlap flowers. So it should be fun. Before I came live, I made this. And I'm sure if you've watched DiyDreaming at all, you can see and spot what this is immediately. This is my favorite stencil in the world. It's the Victorian pattern stencil and white chalk paste on some of this brown craft paper. So I have a bunch of tips, what to do, what not to do. And we'll actually be doing it. As you're hopping on, say hello, let me know where you're watching from, feel free to sprinkle, all that normal good stuff. Okay, so this is craft paper. This is how it generally comes in a roll. And here's the problem that I have with craft paper. It's impossible to work with. So, I just want to give you the tip. What I do when I'm working with craft paper is I just get out my handy dandy little ironing board and iron. And if you iron it, I usually have this not quite on cotton when I'm ironing brown craft paper. It will lay flat, and that makes it easy to work with, and it solves a lot of the problems. So that's what I usually do. No steam, not quite cotton. This is not really plugged in, but I just wanted to show you because I ironed my paper before I'm coming live today also. Okay, so you can get brown craft paper all over the place. You can even get it at Dollar Tree. You can get it at office supply stores, and actually I probably would like it better from an office supply store because it's thicker. This craft paper that I have right here is pretty thin, and so that's not the best for this project, but it's what I have on hand, so it's what we're going to use. So like I said, I did the first piece of homemade wrapping paper with my favorite stencil. We're going to do a second piece for Christmas because you could make Christmas wrapping paper. We're going to do this using this Christmas pattern that is so cute. I'm going to show you how to do that. But you could also make it with any all over pattern stencil. Like there's some adorable flowers, which would be great in spring and summer or in fall. This is called lace. This is called diamond pattern. This is my very, very, very well-loved Victorian pattern. I've used this thing over 70 times, I'm sure. And this one I probably used 15 times. So there's tons of options. And then, of course, you can use whatever color chalk paste you want. For today, I'm using white, and I'm going with a real neutral theme. So, ordinarily, you would, I'll show you how to fuzz. You would fuzz your stencil, especially before you're going to use it on paper. Oh my gosh, and let me just tell you this. This is a serious warning. If your stencil is brand new, never used it before, do not attempt this on paper, on brown craft paper. Use your stencil 2 or 3 times on something else before you attempt to use it on craft paper, because even if you fuzz it, these are super sticky when they're brand new, and they can pull the top layer of your paper off. So you just want to get it fuzzed. And this is a tacky towel from Magnolia, DIY.com. Okay, so I'm just going to lay this down. Try not to let it fold over itself like I just did. If it does, just gently pull it apart. Okay, so you could make this stencil on a piece of paper that you've ironed and cut out full size. This is just what I have right here, so this is what we're going to do. Okay, and we are using plain old white chalk paste from Magnolia. I'm going to get a small cut apart squeegee that I have not cut into pieces. And I'm putting some blobs on here. I don't know if we'll use this much, but if not, we'll put it back in our little pot. And then you're just going to start pulling it with the side of your squeegee that has an angle. That's super hard to show. Through the holes on your stencil. And I heard this good tip from my friend Vonda this week, that if you're brand new to stenciling, it's best to just go all of your stenciling in one direction, which is what I'm doing right here. I did not know that. Also, I want to give kudos and thanks and all that good stuff to my good friend Diane Brown, who gave me this idea, because I talked to her earlier today and I was like, what should I do? I don't know what I feel like doing today. And she said, why don't you make wrapping paper? I'm like, that's brilliant. So thank you, Diane. I appreciate that. She's one of those friends that always has a good idea, and that she's selfless and generous, and she's just a great human. Okay, we're getting there, and I think I have too much chalk paste, so I'm just going to put it back in my little pot. So you can hopefully see how super simple this is. Now I'm going to use the back, the flat side, just to pull off any spots that have big lumps or clumps. And I don't see a ton. Okay, and let's do the peel, squeal, and reveal now. So, if you don't know what that is, that's a little saying that another friend, Melanie Ferguson, started saying, and it's so cute, I'm borrowing it. So peel, squeal, and reveal is usually when we peel the stencil up and you go, oh, you're, excited, you can't believe how great it is. Squeal is when you put your thumb on the heart button and you just squeal by hitting a whole bunch of hearts. Okay, so here's the peel, squeal, and reveal. Oh my gosh. Wow, this stencil, I have not used it this year, and now I'm thinking, why? It is so dang cute, especially in this color combination. Okay, let me throw my stencil over here in my little tub of water. Until I can get into the kitchen to wash it, and I'll show you this. Oh my gosh. Also, I stenciled my desk a little bit. Oh well, it's white. You guys, look. Look how super cute that is. This would make great, if you had some of that brown craft paper, the note cards or tags, gift tags, it would be adorable. What do you guys think? Isn't that cute? So when I'm all finished, if you want a link to this stencil, just let me know and I'd be glad to grab that for you. Let me throw this in my tub. We'll move on to the next step. I'm gonna set this out of the way so I don't mess it up. I can't believe how cute it is. You could do a whole big piece. Yeah, but for time, and you would just line it up, blop, 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 blop. And as long as you scrape most of the chalk paste off the top, you could probably do two stencil applications without washing in between. Okay, so let's set this aside. Dang, it's cute. Super cute. And let's talk about this. Which we're gonna make a pulled string burlap flower, which I have not done this in a long time. I guess I just forget that there's new people here that haven't seen this a million times. And yeah, so, okay. So this is a kind of burlap ribbon that you can get in a lot of different colors at Walmart. It's in the craft department, but it's not with ribbon. It's with the faux florals and that kind of thing, like the styrofoam and pebbles, and that's where they have this. And it's 5.5 inches wide. It's great to work with. Let me get my ruler. However long you cut it is how big the diameter of your flower is going to be. So I'm going to go for 18 inches. And then I'm going to try to cut up a channel, like where the weave is. I'll show you that in just a second. Okay, can you see how I cut? Like in one of these channels. All right. And then, let's start on the other side. You're going to pull out a few rows so that you can get a hold of the strings. This is called pulled string burlap flowers because we're going to pull strings. And I have made hundreds of these. I've done probably 10 videos on this over the last 4 years. And the one thing I've learned is a set of, these are just some little jewelry pliers. Some kind of small pliers makes it much easier to pull the strings, and also don't throw your strings away. These are the strings from this flower. You want to just kind of gather them up, and then I loosely put a knot in the center because these are a good crafting item too. Okay, so you're going to start somewhere in the center, and you're just holding your piece of burlap down. See, I pulled a string out. And I have found that you really need to do one at a time. I haven't been able to grab like 3 or 4 strings at a time, but you can see it's pretty quick. If you have a TV program on and you're sitting at your kitchen table pulling strings, this is a good mindless activity. And I'm going to go all the way until there's about 3 rows left on each side. And then I'll show you the next step. So what do you guys think? Tell me in the comments if you've made pulled string burlap flowers before. We're going to be making the ones that kind of stand upright, but I'm going to show you how to smush them down. But you can also, it's a little bit more challenging, you can also make them so that they kind of spiral and they lay flat. Okay, there are 3 or 4 rows right here. Pull out one more. And now let's do the other side. This is sort of like ripping fabric. It's this strange sense of satisfaction you get from pulling the strings of burlap ribbon out. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. It does go a lot faster. It doesn't bother your fingers. Some people with dry skin or eczema or whatever, if they handle a lot of burlap, that seems to bother them, their skin. But if you do it this way and you're just holding it down with this one hand, it doesn't seem to bother people that way. We're almost there. Pull out one more. Okay, so now after I'm done here, I have this whole pile of pieces that I'm going to get all lined up and straight. Okay, this is what it's going to look like. And you're going to have some of these ones that go across that just fall off. They just got loosened up. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fold it over on itself and we're going to glue the two sides together. For this, I seriously recommend that you use a low temperature hot glue device, because this is a guarantee that you're going to get it on your fingers. And it's hard to wear one of those little finger protectors and do this. So see, I just glued the two sides together and we'll do the rest of it. And you can do this same technique for flowers using felt or fabric, where you basically just fold a long piece over on itself and you glue this edge and then you cut the snips. I've done a lot of those too. But I was thinking when I was making this package earlier, this wrapping paper with the Victorian pattern stencil, that I haven't done these flowers in a while and I wanted to do them. So that's why we're doing it. And this wrapping paper can be for any season. Obviously, you're probably not going to put a big burlap flower on some wrapping paper that you make that's for Christmas, or maybe you are, I don't know, that's totally personal preference. But I just love the idea, and so when Diane said, why don't you do that, I was like, oh, that's a great idea. Okay, so I'm going to finish this up, and this is what it looks like. As you're hopping on, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. Feel free to sprinkle. Today, if you want to go back when I'm finished, I showed you how to make homemade wrapping paper using brown craft paper and stencils and white chalk paste. And I showed you how to iron it so it's not curly, so it's not driving you bonkers. And now we're making 5.5-inch burlap ribbon pulled string flowers. Okay, so I have this right here. I'm going to just cut that off. And now we're going to start the rolling, rolling, rolling. And basically, you're just going to put a little glue right along that margin. And you're going to roll your flower, the edge, into that glue. I'll pick it up in just a second and show you. So see, we're just rolling it over onto itself. The one thing I do want to warn you about this craft, and I'm being serious, because people have told me this a ton, is that it's so fun and so satisfying to make these that it's sort of addicting. And I've had people saying that they've made, 40 of these pulled string burlap flowers, or the rolled rosettes that I like to make too, and they don't know what to do with them because they made so many. But they're great on presents. They're great on signs. In the summertime, I do this a lot. So see, I'm just continuing to roll it up on itself. Do that all the way to the end. there is a way that you can do these, which I'm not going to show you today because it's more complicated, so that you have a flatter profile, which I will show you what that means. Okay, see how these want to stand up straight? If you want them to be flat and wound around, you can do that by gluing it and just twisting it around and around. Start on the outside and work in. But this is nice too. Okay, so now we need to open our flower. I'm just sort of looking for what might be the center. And then I'm going to spread these out. You can fiddle around with this part as much as you want. Okay, and then what I love to do is to put a button in the center. And it could be absolutely whatever button you want, but I love vintage mother of pearl buttons. That's my thing, although my selection is getting kind of skinny. I have some abalone ones. Let me grab that jar. These are beautiful too. They're not vintage, I don't think, and also they're not mother of pearl. They're abalone, but they're beautiful as well. Let's do this one. This is what the back of some of them looks like. So I'm just going to put a blob of glue here in the center. And stick my button in there, and then I'm going to push it down, and that helps you kind of get your flower to open up a little bit. Use too much glue and it's coming through the holes on my button. So that's it. What do you think? This ribbon, this 5.5 inch burlap ribbon comes in a mustard color. It comes in a red color. Let me see what I have in my box. Okay, let me just show you some of the colors real quick. It comes in this pretty blue. This is sort of, didn't know what to call this color. I guess it's not really mustard. It's like a sunny yellow. This is the brown. It comes in this pretty blue, I love. It comes in ivory or cream. Do I have any else? It also comes in a red color, which what I have left in my little basket are strings that I saved. Oh, here's the red. I don't have very much of it left. So it comes in kind of a olivey green. It comes in a lot of different colors, and it's not expensive at all. I love to craft with it. So then you could add this to a sign. You could put a button magnet on it. You could put it on a package. And if you have this brown craft paper and maybe some twine or jute on it, it could look adorable. It's a little big for the scale of this box. But if you jumped on late, I showed how to make your own handmade wrapping paper using brown craft paper, stencils, and a little bit of white chalk paste, but you could use any color that you would like. And let me show you this piece of wrapping paper that we just made. I also showed you how to make these flowers in case you missed that part. Don't throw these away. If you come back after I'm not live anymore, you can watch this video on replay and see the whole entire thing. This is a piece of Christmas wrapping paper that I made with the Christmas pattern stencil, white chalk paste, and this brown craft paper. You can also make tags. You can do the same idea on note cards, all kinds of things. And I just love the idea of, I don't know how you feel about it, but I think that sometimes the way a package is presented is almost as important as what's in the package. I'm all about the preparation, the wrapping, and all that. And so I think it would be super fun. Now, if you had a big piece of paper that you needed to cover a larger present, you could just move your stencil over, and you could do 4 big pieces or 6 big pieces or 8 big pieces. Just move your stencil. After maybe 2 times, I would definitely clean it and dry it before you put it back down again. So I hope that this gave you some ideas and that your wheels are spinning in your mind of different things that you can do. We could make Valentine's Day wrapping paper when the Valentine's Day stencils come back out, and we could use light pink chalk paste. We could use white, we could use the rose gold chalk paste, we could use red, we could use hot pink, we could use whatever. We could make Easter paper, we could make summery paper, we could make 4th of July paper, you get it. Fall, you can make wrapping paper just using some brown craft paper and a stencil for any occasion throughout the year. You can also take a brown craft paper gift bag, and you can decorate that. I don't have any on hand, or else I would have showed you that exactly the same way and make it special. Alrighty, well you guys, I'm gonna hop off now, but if you want a link to this stencil, or to chalk paste, or to the Victorian pattern, or really to any pattern stencil or anything else, just tell me in the comments and I'll be glad to grab you those direct links so you don't have to go and hunt it down. If you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. If you have friends that like this kind of stuff, or acquaintances, feel free to sprinkle this to your social media. And just let me know how I can help you do this or this. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Or say something to me in the comments. Oh, Sushi says, thank you so much for my amazing ideas. Okay, well, this amazing idea came from my good friend Diane Brown. Anyways, so don't be a stranger. I will be back tomorrow with more crafting. It'll be something completely different. I'm kind of thinking, I put it away, but I'm kind of thinking that we might play with some of that sea glass that I picked up when I was in Boise, Idaho at a thrift store. I don't know. We'll see. I have some ideas. Anyways, I do try to mix it up every day so you're not bored, so we're not making sign after sign after sign after sign. And hopefully that'll keep you coming back. Alrighty, have a blessed rest of your day. I'll see you guys later.